It's September 6th, 2022, and you're listening to the Take the Over podcast presented by Live Casino. Let's go, everybody. Welcome. It's week one. It's week 0 right now. It is week 1. Week 1 is going to be starting on Thursday night, and your favorite sports betting podcast is back. My name is Derek, and I will be your host, and joining me is, as always, our faithful co-host, Drew Herchko. Drew, how was your offseason?
Hey, my offseason was great. I just thought about, everything we won last year. We're also pretty economical because that's the same intro song as last year too, right?
Yeah.
So we're not too,
we're not splurging.
We could have gotten what were the ones that were on the docket that we didn't? Eminem, Lose Yourself. We could have afforded the royalties for that. We did not.
Young Gravy.
So I think shout out to us.
Young Gravy was going to do.
Young Gravy would have been very nice.
Yep. We didn't do it. Very nice. We didn't do it.
My offseason was very good. Thanks for asking. How was yours?
It was great.
It doesn't even feel like we had one, honestly.
I know.
I feel like we were just here not too long ago.
I know.
So.
And we're back.
Another year wiser too.
Well, we'll find out. The NFL is back, and I will tell you right now, it is this first week is the first 4 weeks are the hardest. I'm not self-handicapping, but the first 4 weeks are the hardest weeks to predict because you just don't know. You just don't know. There's a lot of new coaches. There's a lot of new players, a lot of new systems. There's a lot of new things happening, so you just don't know what you're going to get the first 4 weeks. That being said, we start off with one of the greatest games maybe of all season, and we get it on a Thursday night. Usually Thursday night games suck. They're not good. They're not watchable. This Thursday night, we're kicking off the season with your Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Rams in what could be a Super Bowl matchup. We get that week 1. Drew, just initial take on this game.
I decided, I was driving here to the studio and I was thinking to myself, like, man, we're starting the season again. I thought that along the same lines as you, where I didn't even pay a whole lot of attention to who went where in the offseason, so I'm going to be surprised
when you look at some rosters.
The rosters. And I was like, man, I really should listen to some experts and kind of learn a little bit before we get into the season, and it hit me that we are the experts. So I decided to not look at anything. And the other thought I had just for this game, for game 1, is that Buffalo, just looking at last season, first game of the year.
What happened?
Might not be their best game of the year.
Who'd they play? Who did the Buffalo Bills play last year?
They played the Pittsburgh Steelers at their home stadium, and they not only the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 2021 version of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which you can categorize that however you like. It was a different version of Pittsburgh Steeler football than we've seen in the past. So, week 1 they did not perform as to expectations last year, I don't think. So what does that mean for week 1 this year? Right, they're the favorites in an away game,
which is surprising.
Which is surprising at the same time. But yeah, they're very talented. But also, both teams in this game are extremely talented.
For that team to be favorited on the road against the Super Bowl champions, which is crazy because here's the thing: the Rams brought back almost all of their players. The Rams brought back literally almost all their players. They lost Von Miller, who went to Buffalo, so that helps Buffalo's defense out. Buffalo has one of the best defenses in the league right now, for sure. They lost OBJ, who's still out with injury, but they got Allen Robinson, who was like. Every offseason, it was like, oh, Allen Robinson's going to get traded. He's going to get traded. Where's he going to go? And he finally went somewhere, and he went to probably the best place you can go in football.
The first time he's played for a contender. He's been getting paid by Jacksonville, paid by Chicago. And now this is actually a team where he's going to be able to – he's made contributions everywhere that he's been.
Yeah.
For no matter who his quarterback is in Chicago and in Jacksonville, mind you. He and Alan Hearns made Blake Bortles look like – not Blake Bortles. Yeah. So that's something that made him look like Joe Flacco in the mid 2000s. So Allen Robinson being part of that offense is going to be explosive. But then you mentioned also, Miller moving over to Buffalo's.
It's big.
Going to help them out as well.
The line is
a spot that they need a lot of help.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Their defense is good. The line is 2.5. Is it still 2.5? On the FanDuel Sports Book. Apparently, we were lied to. We were told that the FanDuel Sports Book was down today.
FanDuel, whenever I got here, it prompted me to log in, and then it said that there was too much traffic in our state. So I mean, we're only gonna contribute to that. But
I agree. There is too much traffic in our state.
It is Buffalo Bills minus 2.5 is minus 105 right now on FanDuel.
So Buffalo Bills minus 2.5 is 105. Here's what I'll tell you. If you're willing to make a bet on this game, which as you should, it's the first game of the season. You have to go. You have to go in. I don't like this game at all. What I will tell you is, from top to bottom, the Bills are probably the best roster in football. All right, but they haven't found ways to win big games yet. They just don't win big games. The Bills were 11-6 last year, and 5 of their 6 losses came to teams with a winning record. So they have all the pieces to beat up on bad teams. Haven't quite found it yet to beat up on good teams or to win close games against good teams. And it's not Josh Allen's fault. I know people were like, oh, maybe Josh Allen's not. Josh Allen, in the 5 games that they went, he threw 20. It's 6 games, sorry. The 6 games against winning teams. He threw for 21 touchdowns and 5 interceptions against teams with a winning record.
That's good. I'd take that.
100%. Everybody in their right mind would
not
take
even knowing
that.
the outcomes of the game, I would take that.
Exactly, and they were 1 for 5 in those games. So, here's where it gets interesting. The Rams are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 Week 1 games, and the Bills are 4-1 when these two teams play. So it's a toss up.
4-1 straight up.
It's 4-1 against the spread. 4-1 against the spread. So does that sway you at all in any direction?
I mean, just looking at the line, it seems like the Rams money line even in this game playing at home.
Yeah,
I mean it's the Rams that they've had a little taste of success. So
a little bit.
I think they might be right in that, and the new folks coming in their locker room are hungry to achieve that success. So I think that could play into the Rams potentially even winning this game outright. The thing that I do like in this game, which I'll find the odds on. Whatever, it might not even be up yet, but whatever the over is for Josh Allen rushing yards,
37.5.
I think that's going to be he's going to have it 38 or more. I think
38. So Drew, is that your official pick for the game?
Yes.
So you're avoiding the actual spread here, and you're going Josh Allen over 37.5 rushing yards.
Yeah, gun to my head, Rams plus 2.5.
Yeah,
but I do like Josh Allen just to get 38 rushing. He might even do that in the first drive. So that's something.
In the first drive, you're going. Hey, Drew's like, hey, Josh, did you play any of the preseason? Your legs are fresh. Your legs are fresh. Just get out there and run the ball.
He is not going to let what happened Week 1 last year happen this Week 1. So I think he's going to take a lot of it on himself, right? Because he's heard the feedback, and I think something important you mentioned as well is they haven't been able to win these
big games
against.
Yeah.
If you want to call them big games or games against opponents with winning records, but at the same time they've lost those games, so they know what that part feels like, and I can't imagine it feels very good.
No. Every
morning, or every Monday or Tuesday in the film room looking at your loss against this team. So I think it's very front of mind for them as well. So I don't expect this to be a blowout either way.
No.
But I do expect the Bills to compete, and I expect Josh Allen to be a big part of that.
And here's the other thing that
really going out on a limb there.
Well, no, I think it's a smart limb. The other thing is the Rams have one of the best rushing attacks in football with Aaron Donald. So when things break down, Josh Allen's good off script. So he's going to get out of the pocket. He's going to move around. He should hit that over 37.5. Here's what I like. I like the Rams plus 2.5. I like the Rams plus not my best bet of the week. I like the Rams plus 2.5. I like and if I were to take a few props in this game, I'm liking Josh Allen over 37.5 rushing yards as well.
Nice.
I like that parlayed with Diggs touchdown is plus 256.
The Allen rushing with a Diggs touchdown?
Yeah, it's plus 256.
Does it have to be a receiving touchdown?
No, just a touchdown. Anytime touchdown score. Yep. Nice. So my picks here are Rams plus 2.5. Josh Allen over 37.5 and Diggs a touchdown. Parlay those two things. The other thing that I really like is Allen Robinson over 61.5 receiving yards. Simply because when OBJ came in, Cooper Kupp got a lot of double teams, and then OBJ found holes where the defense wasn't, and it made him look like a much better receiver because everybody was doubling Cooper Kupp. So I think Allen Robinson can get over 61.5 receiving yards. So that's kind of my thoughts. So you're just going with the straight up with Josh Allen over?
Yeah, and Robinson's at 61.5 I think is great, so long as there's obviously not any injuries or anything that occur, because he is similar in my mind to at his position, similar to my mind to somebody like an Aaron Donald, where Aaron Donald, he's a known quantity, right? He's explosive, he's got all this ability, and you have this film on him. People still cannot stop him. Allen Robinson, much the same way. He's Jacksonville's lead receiver, Chicago's lead receiver. there's really nowhere else to go, but he still manages to find a way to get open and catch the ball. So I think that 61.5 I like as well. I'll probably tail that with you. All right.
Josh Allen over, AR over. And if you're looking for a great place to make these bets, hey, is there a better place in the world to make these bets than at the live casino?
I'm not aware of it.
You're not aware of the live casino? You're not. You're not. Okay.
If there is a better place,
okay, I was so confused.
Actually, no, I'm not aware of live casino. Derek, why don't you tell me about it?
If you're looking for a place to gamble and spend some money and win some money, actually tailing these bets, you can do that right there at the live casino. Live casino in Greensburg. Technically, it's Live Casino Pittsburgh. They have the best sports book by a mile. By a mile.
It is very nice. Again, the advantage of being brand new,
you
get all the newest stuff.
And I think that's one thing that helped them. Last year or 2 years ago when they became a new casino, Drew and I talked about this last year. It's these newer casinos are built for entertainment. It's not like they built these casinos and then they're like, oh, hey, we also might be getting sports betting here soon. So now we got to find a place in the casino to do that. No, the live casino was built with a sports book in mind. They have a 2-story media wall, which is unreal. They have literally every game on that media wall. You can go down there. They have kiosks all around the casino where you can go and bet. And I think the coolest part there that doesn't get talked about at all, or at least we don't talk about it at all, is the FanDuel.
I was going to say, don't say it, because I was just thinking about that, because it's intimidating. It's underutilized because there's a gentleman that stands out in the front with a red sport coat on, like security, like you're not supposed to go in there. But as long as there's no private parties or events scheduled in there, you can walk in there and sit in one of the very nice lazy boys they have in there and watch a nice game in a very nice setting.
Actually, that TV splits into 4 screens.
I like that too.
So you can watch 4 different games there, and they have kiosks right there in the actual FanDuel fan cave. So you're doing yourself a disservice by not going and checking them out. So if you're looking for a place to bet this week, or if you're looking for a place to watch the games, looking for a good atmosphere, there's literally Sports and Social right there. You can see the media wall right from there. Stop down at Guy Fieri's restaurant first. Take a trip to Flavortown, then straight to the bank, and we will get you going here. Just a few comments in the chat here as we were going. Phil Mariani says, Ray's drip is crazy.
I forgot to mention
Ray's drip is crazy. Let's take a look. Also said, look at the walk-off break sports shirt too.
I forgot to mention.
Look at this
at the start of the show that we are back for a new season. I wanted to wear some of the nicest clothes that I had in my closet, so I do have the walk it off.
Those are the nicest clothes you have in your closet.
T-shirt.
You have a girlfriend now.
Why?
Those are the nicest clothes you have in your closet.
The fact that you're even asking me. This is a McClanahan 62, by the way.
Okay.
So this is the Shane McClanahan from whenever he made his MLB debut in the World Series.
All right.
Absolutely electric stuff. But it's from the Tropicana field down in
you bought it there.
In St. Pete. Yep, got it there, and they made it on site, and they text you whenever it's done. It's true. They did. I swear on all things.
Shut up.
I swear on all things. Minus 5,000. They made this.
They made that on site.
It's true.
They were.
So that's what it is. Some of the nicest wear that I have. So I appreciate Phil for the compliment on that. And I got the Rays
Taylor said, "Keep the Rays in Tampa."
We need to.
Ebor,
Tampa. We need to find somewhere for the Rays.
We need to find somewhere.
But baseball indoors is electric. I got to experience that last month. That was part of my off season.
What was it?
That was 2 months ago now, I guess. But baseball indoors, I was down there for Wander Franco bobblehead night. Baseball indoors is as good as
the amount of times Drew has snapped me that picture of that Wander Franco bobblehead is disgusting. And
great memory.
And to back it up, I don't want to start anything. But Durst said I was there. They made it on site. So maybe
case closed.
I think there's still room for discussion. Hopping back into the lines here, we're looking at a week ahead here. It is honestly, it's the first week. This is like my Christmas. I look forward so much to the NFL season, and now that it's here, you almost get a little teased because you look forward to it so much, and then you're like, oh, the preseason's here. We're so close, and then you watch preseason football, and you're like, well, that's not football.
I don't do that anymore.
You don't watch preseason football?
I'll maybe watch like a couple of series just to get back into it a little bit. But like you just mentioned, once you watch, you can't watch more than 5 minutes and then be like,
no,
wow, I'm watching real football. I want to cheer for. You're just watching it like everybody else. Like, oh, that guy's not going to make it. So
guys, this guy's gonna be selling cars here in a week. Like, hey, just let everybody know in the chat, we are active in the chat. So if you want us to talk about a game, because we got a few people watching here. So if you want to watching live, so if you want to talk about a game, we certainly will. Drew's gonna be my lines expert, and we're gonna kick it off with some games that we like coming up. Here's a game that I like a lot. I like the Philadelphia Eagles at Detroit. Last time I saw it, it was -3.5. Is that kind of still where it's at? -3.5.
Still correct. Yep, -3.5.
minus 3.5.
It's minus 114 for the Eagles.
114 for the Eagles. Okay, so it's a little bit. It could get to minus 4. Just initially, I think that the Eagles burnt me so many times last year that I'm so hesitant to bet on them again. But it's week 1, so I'll make a lot of bad decisions this week. This line seems way low. Outside of what Hard Knocks is trying to sell you on the Lions are still a very bad football team with a ton of holes in their roster. 3.5 seems like a gift. It seems like a gift. The Eagles got better. Jalen Hurts can make plays off script. You have who was the guy they drafted? Devontae Smith from Alabama last year had a great season.
Really, a lot better than I anticipated him to have. I did not think he would be that good, especially in his rookie year, outside of Alabama.
Because he was like the third receiver taken from Alabama, the second receiver taken. Jalen Waddle was first.
Yeah. He was up. Well, he might have been first.
No, Jalen Waddle was first.
Well, Waddle was injured for most of that year, so that was something that. Devontae Smith, I did not expect him because he showed up in a big way for Alabama with Waddle's injury.
Yep.
So I didn't think that he would show up in a big way in the NFL, but he does. And then also we did I thank the Lord I'm in one fantasy league this year. That's about all that I can handle.
That's all you can handle. Yeah.
But it was in our fantasy league in the I do have Jalen Hurts as my quarterback, and he was like in the projections. He's way up there.
I think it's smart.
He's way up there for
smart.
If not necessarily for I guess team, but for fantasy, he's way up there. So you got to assume he's got to contribute to the team in some form or fashion. Yep. So I also think that, and I haven't really followed the offseason that closely. Goff still the quarterback for the Lions? Is that?
Yes. Goff's still the quarterback for the Lions.
Yeah,
they drafted
3.5's not enough. That's
you don't like Goff? Well, here's what happened. They drafted a kid from.
I've never.
No.
Never. Even watching Goff play for Cal Berkeley at 10:30 p.m. on the Pac-12 network.
That's how sick you were.
That's the. Never liked him once. But anyways, all
right.
As a football player that I'm cheering to win my bets.
Sure.
Never liked him. As a human being, I'm sure he's great.
Probably great. Probably. He's a handsome looking dude.
We'd love to have him in the studio.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. If you're out there, Jared, and you're listening, go ahead and so here's what I'll say.
And you find yourself with some free time in the near future.
The Eagles traded for A.J. Brown from the Titans last year during the draft. All right, they have a QB that's decent on the run, can make plays. Devonta Smith. Their defense got a lot better. They signed Reddick and Bradbury this year. Their defense is not great. But they're also playing the Lions, who, if you can tell me two of their starting receivers, I watch football every day, and I couldn't. So
the Lions,
the Lions, yeah, they got Swift at running back, who's a good player. The only thing that scares me about this, 69% of the money, 62% of the tickets are on the Eagles. However, Philadelphia fans are nuts. They're going to spend a lot of money. They're going to spend a lot of money on the tickets. They're going to go and they're going to bet on their team. Eagles. This line could be 6.5, and I would still take the Eagles. Eagles minus 3.5. That's my pick on this game. Drew, you have a pick on this game?
Yeah, Eagles minus 3.5 as well. I think that the Lions are. Campbell's the man, right? I think everybody's in agreement.
I think people like to play for him. That doesn't make you a great coach. That doesn't make you a winning coach.
But also looking at the pieces he has to work with. I mean, he does a good job of not making excuses for them and making the best of what he has. At the same time, there I think is a skill gap that exists. Although everybody in the NFL is a freak athlete and very good at what they do, I think we're going to see that skill gap exposed this weekend in Detroit, which is actually a nice facility as well up there at Ford Field. I was up there for the Quick Lane Bowl a couple years ago. Whenever Pitt beat Eastern Michigan. So
nice.
I've firsthand experience of the field. Great place to play. I think the Eagles will be comfortable.
But they're not winning. The Eagles are winning that game.
And then they're going to walk out of there with
the Eagles. The Eagles are winning that game going away. So that's my take on. That's our take. Actually, we're both on Philadelphia minus 3.5. Again, the Eagles have burnt us a lot last year, so take that for what it is. However, I do think that they cover this game going away. I think that you're going to see a lot of people last year. Thanksgiving last year, actually, we thought the Lions were going to beat the Eagles, and they lost like 41-13. So give me the Eagles until they prove us otherwise. Do you have any other games that you looked at this week or that you looked at right now that you like?
I think we got to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's a tough game
because now we have the
tough game.
We have Mitchell Trubisky as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think that's the way that was in my mind. That was the way I was hoping it would go. I mean, you've got a former number 2 overall pick that he's had the ability to be in Buffalo and see some level of success from a quarterback that I think is superior to him in Josh Allen.
And not a bad quarterback when he was playing in Chicago. He was in a bad system. He was playing for a bad coach. Not a bad quarterback when he's playing in Chicago.
Expectations could not have been higher.
Could not have been higher. Results could not have been lower.
Correct.
So 6-1, half a dozen in the other. He's now the starting quarterback for your Pittsburgh Steelers. And what do you think? That line's is still at 6.5?
It's still, yeah. The Steelers are plus 6.5 and minus 114, so it could get to plus 7 here. But but still, Mitchell is. I think that this is the best possible scenario for him.
I agree.
It is a city that loves their football and supports their football team.
I agree.
And understands, like, Mitchell's not coming in here saying, like, we need you to throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns every week. We're just like, hey, Ben's not here. Let's see what happens. Huh? So I think that he really does kind of have a blank check to write his own narrative for what he wants to do with Pittsburgh. And I think it's going to start out well. I just hope it continues to go well. For Mitchell.
Well, I'll also say that the Steelers aren't going to ask him to win a lot of games. They're going to ask him not to lose a lot of games, and by that I mean they have a top 10 defense. The issue is that they have a bottom 5 offensive line, and
that is an issue.
And so he has. I mean, George Pickens looks like going away the best wide receiver in this rookie class, at least. Through the first preseason, through the first OTAs, through training camp, he looks like he's the guy. Like if you want to lock in a offensive rookie of the year, you go ahead and do that with George Pickens, and you're probably going to cash it. It's like probably plus like 600 right now, but that's a tough game to predict because you're also coming against the Super Bowl champ or the AFC champions, the Super Bowl losers. I should say second place finish because no one thought the Bengals were even going to be in the Super Bowl last year.
Nobody ever was wanted to name that ever in their life.
No, but I think Joe Burrow is a guy. I think Jamar Chase is a guy. I think that you have some guys on that team that are Boyd. T. Higgins would be most likely a number 1 wide receiver in almost any other team that he plays for. Joe Mixon can catch the ball in the backfield. You have matchup problems all over the field. Offensively. So where are you going here? What are you thinking?
I'm trying to talk as nicely as I can about the Pittsburgh Steelers and thinking also that they may lose by 3 touchdowns on
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Joe
Burrow had surgery this offseason, like right before training camp. I don't think he hasn't played any football that.
I guess his status as well is kind of up in the air, right?
Yeah, because he had his appendix ruptured or is something.
Kind of selfish play for a football player, don't you think?
Really? Like, what are you doing?
I did look up the rookie of the year for the rookie NFL offensive rookie of the year futures odds on FanDuel. George Pickens is tied for first. There's one other person that's with him at plus 900.
That's Kenny Pickett.
And it is Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
and it's very interesting that FanDuel would have a third string quarterback as a leader to win the offensive rookie of the year.
Here's why George Pickens would be screwed if Kenny Pickett starts. Because if Kenny Pickett starts, his stats could look amazing. George Pickens' stats could look amazing, and he's still going to be like, they're still going to give it to Kenny Pickett because they're like, well, he threw him the ball. He made him look good. He got him open. He threw him open. And unless it's like you have a second-year quarterback and you're like Jamar Chase level of good or Justin Jefferson level of good, like it's always going to go to the quarterback. It's always going to go to the quarterback. And that sucks. But that's just kind of what life is.
I think that's something for just you and I to keep an eye on and keep our thumb on the pulse of that because that is something that if that doesn't go recognized, we have to be George Pickens' voice in that case.
For sure. We'll get him on the show.
Yeah, and that's what we need to. Well, we are his voice, so that's what he's just going to echo what we're saying, which is that he deserves that over Kenny Pickett. Yeah. That being said, the little bit of preseason football I did watch, I did see Kenny Pickett make some throws.
He looks good against,
and he actually did look a lot better. The first round draft pick, I've never worked in an NFL front office before.
That's surprising.
I've never been part of a draft day atmosphere or what leads up to that.
Also surprising.
I feel the same. But the Kenny in the first round. I mean, I didn't see what they must see in a first round draft.
Yeah, but he's looked good preseason. He's looked good. So
and playing in the friendly confines of Acquishire Stadium. I think my favorite. So I'm going to keep tabs on my favorite mispronunciation of Acrisure, and I'm going to call it that
acronym.
My favorite so far is replacing the RI in the middle with a U and just calling it Accushire.
Accushire.
And so I guess replacing the Shire with Shire as well. Accushire, I think, is probably my favorite.
Jens guy's going down to Accushire.
That's my favorite.
Jens guy's going down to Accushire.
Accushire.
I
love going down to Accushire. So Kenny's playing in the friendly confines of Accushire, and I think it really that.
So what's your pick here?
It's got to be Cincinnati. I mean, it's
Cincinnati minus 6.5.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think they're gonna. I'm cheering for the Steelers, but you have to bet with your head, not your heart.
That's smart.
And I think that
smart.
Being a responsible degenerate involves sometimes not having your home team as your pick. So.
That's true. You got to bet. Yeah, you got to go with your heart here. Speaking of going with your heart.
Just make sure if you put that, like, because I can get emotion across on the microphone. So like if it is a pick that's put in writing, like put like a sad face next to it, because it's like I'm not happy to pick it, but at the same time
you got to protect your record.
Exactly right.
You got to protect your record. So Drew's likes 6.5 there. I'm not touching that game. That game is a no go for me. I don't like either of those teams right now just because I'm not sure.
It could be bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure what either of those teams are. The Steelers could come out and lose by 14. The Bengals could come out with a second string quarterback that day and just and completely obliterate themselves. So I have no idea. I'm not touching that game. A game that I really like here is actually one of my favorite games of the week, and I might need you to look up some stats here or look up some lines here. Colts at Texans. The Texans were getting, is it 8.5? Is it 7.5? What is it now?
So now on FanDuel, it's plus 7.5 is minus 120.
Okay, so it's who plus 7.5?
Houston plus 7.5 is minus 120.
Minus 120. So here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do with that game. We're gonna do a take the over special. If this is your first year listening to us and you're not sure what a take the over special is, we have two. We have one for hockey. This is not what we're talking about, and we have one for it's not what we're talking about. We have one for the NFL, and the NFL is where you tease up a game like 6 points, 6.5 points, and then you tease down the over 6.5 points. The Texans are a bad team. The Colts also lost to the Jaguars last year to get into the playoffs, so they're also not a great team either. You know, they probably have the best chance to win that division. I would think they can beat the Titans for sure. The Colts haven't won a Week 1 game. This is awesome. The Colts have not won a Week 1 game since 2013.
So do you say they're due or no?
Well, now they have the biggest line of the week against the against the Texans, led by Davis Mills. I do not believe in the Texans at all, and I think the Colts lost. The Colts last year lost games directly because of bad decisions by Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is no longer on that roster. I think by not having Carson Wentz on your roster, you're a better football team. Just by putting somebody else in that jersey, you're a better football team. And Matt Ryan is not gonna make those same mistakes, right? In Matt Ryan's career, he's completed almost 66% of his passes and threw for almost 4,000 yards, 20 TDs, 12 interceptions last year with no weapons almost. The Colts are very not good at wide receiver this year. They've lost a lot of wide receivers. They haven't made a lot of moves at wide receiver this year. Here's what I got. Let me know what this works out to be, Drew, because it was minus 111 whenever I was there.
I'll see what I can do.
Texans plus 16.5. The Colts are not going to beat the Texans by 17 points. It's not going to happen. The Colts are not going to beat the Texans by 17 points. So plus 16.5 over 39.5 minus 111.
So you're saying So you're saying take both 16.5, the Texans plus 16.5.
Mm-hmm. Texans plus 16.5 over 39.5.
Texans plus 16.5 over 39.5.
Yep. And this is a good time to tell everybody, if you're out there in the chat and you want us to talk about a game, just go ahead and drop that game in the comments, and we'll make some stuff up for you.
So that actually, that same game parlay, TM, on FanDuel Sports Book is minus 116. So FanDuel allows you, there's so many more alternate lines than what you just mentioned. So if you don't like what Derek just mentioned on there, and you think a couple points different either way, FanDuel will let you do that. You have a wide spread of options for your. You can bet over 21.5 if you really wanted to.
Right.
Obviously, the odds are not going to be as good. Your return is not going to be what it would be with the 39.5. But that's minus 116 if you take both of those together. So
I love that. I love that. I don't see the only universe I see that not hitting in is if they don't get to 40 points.
And Matt Ryan is playing for the Colts now.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's playing for the Colts now. I mean, Matt Ryan's playing for the Colts now. There's just not a universe that they don't. The Texans are going to cover 16.5 points. The Texans are going to cover 16.5 points. The Texans might win this game outright. The Colts haven't won a season opener since 2013. I don't think the Texans are going to win this outright. They're also not going to lose by 17 points. So take the Texans plus 16.5 over 39.5 minus 111. That is almost as good as free money as I can give you today.
That's not a bet the house.
That's
though,
not
right?
a bet. That's not a bet the house.
But the okay, so the Texans. Do you know who the head coach is?
Lovie Smith.
Lovie Smith is the head coach of the Texans. So Lovie Smith versus Frank Reich. Lovie Smith, is this his first year back as a head coach?
Yeah, well, he wasn't the head coach last year.
And so this is his first year back as head coach, as a head coach in the NFL. So, I mean, it's his first game as a head coach.
He was on staff last year, though.
Correct. Yeah, with the Texans.
With the Texans.
So that's what he's been in that whatever. But I'm still thinking about like from the coaching perspective, right?
Yep.
Like what are they putting together? Frank Reich, I think, is like one of the most underrated coaches. He's gotten more. He's got more notoriety, I think, throughout the last year or so. But I think he still is one of the more underrated coaches. And I've learned a lot of that from the Pat McAfee show for listening to Pat's inside knowledge whenever Frank was the QB coach at Indianapolis. And I really have a respect for Frank Reich. So that's a long way of saying I'm not touching this one with a 10.
No,
you saying so going back.
I feel really good
going
about
back
this.
to your monologue about they're not going to lose by 17, not going to lose by the Texans plus 16.5.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're trying to convince yourself, which
No.
I respect.
I'm trying to convince you that if you want free money, Joe Biden's canceling $10,000 worth of student loan debt. If you want free money this week, right now, it's Texans minus 16. Or sorry, Texans minus 6. That would be awesome.
Can you imagine?
Texans plus 16.5 over 39.5. I can't promise you that because that's probably we're probably not allowed to say that. But I will tell you that that's going to hit. That's going to hit. I'll look into every camera in this. That is going to hit. Texans plus 16.5 over 39.5.
I love your confidence. I might just tell you just because
I don't
so
want
confident.
you to do that. I want you to feel it.
No.
in your
I'm
own
talking.
bones.
I'm talking off of the show.
Yeah.
Whenever it's just me and my iPhone before the game, and we're just looking through lines.
I can't wait to be wrong about this.
If you are, this is gonna make a hell of a reel. Yeah. The Texans minus 16.5 is plus 1,100 on its own. So in case you're curious,
No. I'm not thinking.
You can bet it on FanDuel.
No. I appreciate FanDuel for giving us that option. I'm going to make free money here, and go from that.
Plus 16.5.
Yeah, plus 16.5 over 37, over 39.5. Lock that in. That's my bet. Drew's not touching this game.
I'm writing it down though.
We're 1-0 in the season now. Apparently, according to this. Drew, there any other games that stuck out to you in this regard?
Let me take a look at what I have here. Well, I have to bring it up just because I'm sitting next to a New York Jets fan. So we have the Ravens at the Jets.
Yep.
Again, we're still in the 1 o'clock window on Sunday, by the way. So Ravens.
Buckle up.
Ravens at Jets. Ravens are 6.5 point favorites over the Jets. The Jets are at home. Ravens are away. Mm-hmm. So two things pop out to me this game. Ravens are touchdown favorite on the road, and then the over-under, the total is 44.5.
Yes.
So this may be one where I turn my attention away from the spread and look at that total. Okay. Because if we have a Lamar Jackson, he's still playing, right?
Mm-hmm. He's still pretty good.
I knew that. Yeah. And then we have Zach Wilson, he's not suspended for.
It's not.
Did he have any off-season things that he was?
Zach Wilson. He got a lot of shit for banging his mom's friends. All right. They weren't ugly.
He's a big Fountains of Wayne fan, though.
Stacy's mom's got it going on. Here's what I will say about this game. I'm a massive Jets fan. I think that line moves a lot tomorrow. That line's maybe a point, half a point, point and a half. They're announcing the starting quarterback tomorrow. Zach Wilson got hurt in preseason game week 1. It was a meniscus tear. It was a bone bruise. Didn't rule him out they put him through a workout yesterday. He could play. I think
your pause there. I almost said I'm sorry to hear that. That was so personal for you.
If he plays, I thought it was an ACL, and I was like, "Season's over. Season's over."
We've already got enough of those. I know 2 people that have ACL issues.
Shout out to Casey and Luke. Yep. And
fast recoveries, boys.
Praying for you guys. So you like the total in this game, and we'll talk about overs here in just a bit. The Ravens offense. Here's my question: Is Lamar Jackson without a contract going to continue to run as often as he did? Is he going to put his body on the line? He's a fifth-year player right now. Is he going to put his body on the line when he doesn't have a long-term deal?
You say without a contract, you mean
he's on his fifth-year deal? He's making like $2.5 million.
Yeah, he doesn't have a contract after this year.
He doesn't have a contract after this year. They were negotiating all offseason. They didn't get it done. That's a bad move on the Ravens' part. Offer the man whatever he wants because he's already been a league MVP. You built your entire offense around him. Give him whatever he wants. Deshaun Watson got $230 million for being a terrible human being. Now you gotta pay up. That's the market. Russell Wilson's deal where he got $168 million guaranteed, that's separate. That doesn't count because that's his second contract, all right? On a new team. He's 34. Lamar Jackson is in his fifth year in the NFL. You pay Lamar Jackson what he's worth. Here's what I will say. The Jets start slow every game. They went undefeated in this preseason. Not to brag. I don't want to brag. They went undefeated this preseason. They were behind in every halftime. All right. It's almost as much of a lock as an Alabama money line in college football. My pick here is Baltimore -3.5 for the first half. That's my pick.
Baltimore -3.5 just in the first half only.
Just in the first half.
I think this could be one that I'm just gonna tease. This is gonna be a nice way to dip my toe into the teasing pond. Okay. So I'll just do Ravens money line and then over 38.5.
Okay, what's that come out?
So the Ravens are gonna win. It's -122. So you could, if you wanted to take the total a little bit higher, you could. But that's where I'm gonna leave it at because I think that total is interesting, especially if New York really contributes at all.
Hey, they got weapons.
So I think that that's where I'm going to go. Both so parlay Ravens money line with over 38.5 on the alternate lines, and you're going to have a nice Sunday watching that 1 o'clock window.
Oh, I think man, wouldn't that be so awesome? If Zach Wilson plays, I'm not sure what that does to the line. It might go down to 6. It might go up to 7. I mean, I really don't know. He hasn't practiced in a little bit. All I know is I will be highly intoxicated cheering for the Jets, Jets. And we only got 3 more weeks till they're in Pittsburgh, so I am pretty pumped.
Hey, are we going to that game?
Heck yeah, we're going to that game. Right, we're getting field passes probably.
That'd be cool.
This is a game. Moving on from that game, although I do like that. I like your Ravens money line. I think they went outright for sure.
Stay in the 1 o'clock window.
You tell me because I'm not sure.
I have no other games. Are you moving? Are you moving?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know where. I don't know what this game. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna throw one out at you. Let me know what time it's played.
Go for it.
All right. This is criminal here. Tennessee Titans -5.5 versus the New York Giants. Tennessee Titans -5.5 versus the New York Giants. At home. Tennessee Titans giving 5.5 points. The Titans are by and away the better team. They're so much the better team. The Giants are a hot mess, and the Daniel Jones experiment has failed time and time and time again. Okay?
Until it doesn't.
But it hasn't not yet.
What if we are about to witness
not
it?
yet.
You've got a cat playing in
I
a
know.
bag.
One of my cats is in the studio here playing in the bag.
Of
Drew's going to take a picture of that. I'm going to continue talking about football because I care. Drew, put your phone down a little bit. It's in my shot now. This is an amateur show.
You got a dog playing in a bag. I can't.
It's a cat.
The
Giants have their offense is not great. Their defense is not great. They have no real way of stopping Derrick Henry. Tennessee wins this one. And I don't think it's close. I think 5.5 is a very safe bet here. Drew, what do you think?
I think the Titans are. I mean, Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, right? And that's where
still is.
Yeah. So that is I think the great. Any game the Titans play in, they have a chance because they have Derrick Henry.
Yep.
So
and he's healthy.
And their quarterback is it still? They signed Tannehill to a big deal. You were talking him about big last year. Cut to last year's talk of Derrick. Talking about Ryan Tannehill, but you were talking about large last year, and I think that he still has enough to get that offense by, especially whenever you have Derrick Henry in the backfield. Yep. As long as he stays healthy, I think the Titans would cover that easily. Because I agree, Daniel Jones. I mean, the Giants. It cannot be what is a typical Giants fan talk about, you think, whenever they talk about the state of the football team and like how their outlook on the season is?
Yeah, a typical Giants fan will tell you that the Rangers won 2 playoff series last year. That's what a typical Giants fan will tell you. They still I don't know if they still believe in Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon's a very talented back. Two injured. They have almost no weapons. Kadarius Toney, okay. Galladay was injured, I believe, a lot. So it just doesn't make any sense to me how this line is only 5.5. Now, I said that last year. I thought the Titans would just massively beat up on the Arizona Cardinals. Turns out the Arizona Cardinals were very good coming out of the gate last year, started like 7-0 or something like that. This is what I'm telling you, is the first 4 weeks of the NFL is a learning curve for all of us. A learning curve for all of us. I don't see a way that the Giants are in this game. I don't see a way that the Giants compete. And so I'm taking the Tennessee Titans -5.5. Drew, where are you at in this game?
Yeah, I think I'm at the same spot, and also on the Saquon piece. As a 31-year-old that has injured his hamstring in slow pitch softball, I can attest. Please,
I'm sorry.
I have said nothing that's funny at this point. As a 31-year-old that has injured his hamstring in slow pitch softball, I can attest to how difficult it is to come back from injury. And that's like, you don't want to go full speed because you could potentially hurt something again. So I think for this first game, I have still said nothing funny to this point. I'm laughing because you're laughing, but inside I'm very uncomfortable.
Keep the Rays in Tampa.
So so Saquon, yeah, I mean, it's a first live game back, right? Because he didn't play at all last year. I drafted him first in fantasy, and you know how that goes. But the first game back, I mean, it's not a test and see, but he can't be feeling 100%, right? So you have Saquon,
ease into it a little bit.
You have Saquon less than 100%, and then you've got Tennessee on the other side of the ball at home.
Yep.
Nissan Stadium's pretty nice down there in Nashville. Driven by it a couple times myself. I think the Titans -5.5 is going to be pretty safe.
That's a safe bet.
That could be a 31-10 game, Tennessee.
Really actually. I'm writing that down. I think I might bet on that 31-10. That actually sounds like a number that could hit, and that's probably dope odds on FanDuel.
That would be under the total, which I would never.
No. But like, we're not betting the over. We don't bet the over on every game. We just talk about the overs on a lot of games. So, speaking of overs, we should probably hop into overs now. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. For the people that are in the chat or watching this live, if you want to go ahead and ask us your questions in the chat. If there's a game you want to talk about, if we've already touched on it, we won't touch on it again. But if it's a new game coming up, let us know. Any overs that you see, I'll throw one out there to give you a second to think about it here. I'm going to go Steelers-Bengals over 44.5. I just think that Pickens scores a touchdown, and then the Bengals carry a lot of that. I don't know how good the Steelers can hold up against the Bengals' skill positions. I understand that this is a Pittsburgh-based podcast, and I understand that there's a lot of Pittsburgh fans out there. I also just don't understand how they can. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think over 44.5. I think that hits all day.
So you like the over 44.5 and the Steelers?
I love the over 44.5. Yep.
Gotcha. I appreciate that. I mean, 44.5 is always a tempting number because it's usually one of the lower ones on the week.
Yep.
So 44.5 is just a tractor beam. It'll just suck you in, basically.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a different verb, but anyway,
it hits a lot.
I don't like or hate 44.5. I'll let you have that. Mm-hmm. The one that caught my eye was the Patriots and the Dolphins is 46.5. It's actually trending. It's at 46.5, and the under is -115, so it's trending towards 46.
Okay.
I mean, that game, like it's basically like an Alabama alumni game at this point, right? Like it's like
there's a lot of Alabama players
and they know how to score points. So that's an over that I have my eye on closely because I think Miami's offense is going to show up a little bit. Mac Jones, from what I've seen.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Who?
Mac Jones. From what I've seen in the offseason, he's actually upped his fitness program, it appears.
Man.
So he's maybe going to be a little bit more mobile than he has been in the past.
Yeah.
And maybe a little more durable, willing to make some more plays. I think that's going to be an offense, two offenses between the Patriots and the Dolphins. They're going to surprise a lot of people.
Patriots scare me this year. I think that they could be a 4-13 team. I think that they could be a 4-win team. They have nobody calling the plays down there. They have Mac Jones throwing to who? They haven't improved on either side of the ball this year. The Dolphins are a different situation. The Dolphins actually have They got Tyreek Hill. They have Jalen Waddle. They have Mike Gesicki, who's basically a wide receiver tight end. They have all the pieces there. It just comes down to if Tua can be productive.
Tyreek Hill's a Dolphin?
Tyreek Hill's a Dolphin. See, you got to pay attention to these off seasons. I'm telling you, they're a lot more fun. This is why I watch the NFL all year long. They're a lot more fun. So I love that, but I also think the Dolphins have to carry most of that.
And I think they will, honestly. I think we're going to see.
Yeah.
And I had this question before you started talking, and I think that it's worthy of bringing up to everybody. Who, coming out of the preseason and moving into the regular season, who do you think has the advantage in most of these games, the offense or the defense for most of these teams?
That's a good question. I think defense, because defense is more a reactive position. I think the defenses are, it's easier to, I think, and this is, I played 1 year of 8th grade football, right? Like, 6th grade football.
Which that's intense. Yeah, don't minimize that.
That's true. The defenses are more reactive. The defenses are, just making plays off athleticism. Offense is all about timing. So, having the quarterback get on time, get on rhythm with the wide receiver takes longer, I believe. So I'm going to go with defenses. So I think that you could see some lower scores here at the beginning of the year. However, Dolphins probably win that game by more than what they should. So I'm not going to touch that, but I'm cheering for your over.
And see, I would argue that offense has the advantage in this case because
why?
You're able to see from a competitive standpoint. You can watch film on the other team's defense, right, or just even that coordinator's defense, right. So even if the coordinator is moved from team to team,
right,
they kind of bring their same spiral notebook with them wherever they go. So I think that the offense may have an advantage looking at a specific defense. You kind of know, like, in these situations, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the safety in this position, the linebackers in this position, and you can plan for that a little bit better per team. Especially, I'm thinking about, like, taking the entire offseason and having it be laser beam pointed towards week one because you know
right.
who that opponent's going to be.
For a while. Yeah.
So I feel like the offenses have a little bit of an advantage because they can make that offense specifically for that game and they can spend a lot of time ramping that up to get there. So I'll be curious to see if, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game and a high-scoring weekend in most cases. Of course, that not every game is going to go over. That would just be
that'd be awesome,
ludicrous,
that'd
and
be awesome.
Really cool. But I think the offense is going to have the advantage with being able to plan for, like, you're going to see this, and whenever you do see this, we're going to do this.
All right. Well, that's fair. I'm not touching that game again. Another over that I liked here, and again, we'll give you like two more overs. We'll get an over each. We'll give you our Bet the Hass pick and our parlay pick of the week and our hot take, and then we'll just watch. We'll just get to watch for Sunday.
We'll just put it in a nice little box with some wrapping paper.
Put it in a box.
And just set it and forget it. I think I mixed a couple of ideas.
Yeah, you did. I like San Fran over 24.5. The Chicago Bears may have the least amount of talent on any roster outside of Seattle. Their offensive line is going to get Justin Fields killed this year, absolutely murdered. Yep. I really think that Justin Fields should extend his life insurance policy by quite a bit this year.
And it was that way last year as well.
It
was uncomfortable watching a couple instances because it was like
you felt bad.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not enjoying myself watching this game. It's like I really have
he's gonna get killed
concerns for somebody that's on the field. I didn't know. There's not a number you can call for that. Like, if gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But if you have an issue with, hey, I'm watching a quarterback on my television who I think may not finish the game. Yeah. There's no number for that.
No, there's not. So I like San Francisco over 24.5 points. San Francisco still has a very talented roster. It's going to come down to whether or not Trey Lance can actually be productive.
I think he can.
I think he can, especially against a bad defense here. Randy Baum while watching Take the Over. This is nuts. What a time to be alive. Taylor and Driscoll. So I'm assuming Randy is a Tampa Bay Ray. Is Randy a Tampa Bay Ray?
Randy, a Rosarena, depends on who you ask.
All right.
Pronunciation of last name. I think he defected from Cuba. An absolutely incredible presence to watch live. I've seen a Randy Baum in person, and I mean, there's nothing like it. Randy Baum's. I mean, just off the subject of NFL really quickly.
Randy Baums or Jaeger Bombs?
I think it's one after the other. and you go in. I was going to say alphabetical order, but then Jaeger does not start with a Y; it starts with a J. So you go Randy Baum, then Jaeger Baum.
Okay.
So Jaeger Baum's 4 Randy Baums.
Okay.
And watching Randy Rosarena hit a home run, especially in the Trop, is incredible. I mean, I'm glad I got to experience that one. I hope you get to experience that as well.
I hope so.
Unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
I hope you get to experience it.
Highly unlikely.
You would. We talked a little bit about baseball, and this is an NFL show, so we'll save that for afterwards.
Yeah, we got baseball.
But
It's something
baseball.
Not
We need to
today.
get you. We need to get you into some nice navy and light blue and yellow.
All right.
I think.
All right. San Francisco over 24.5. What's your
over 24.5 in the team total?
Yeah, team total.
And
team total.
Was that your bet the house pick?
No.
We're still talking.
If you want to do another over, we can. Otherwise, we have the parlay, bet the house, and then hot take. 3 more.
Well, the game that I'm curious to talk about is the Browns at the Panthers, because there's a lot going on.
What's going on there?
Just in the Real Housewives of Cleveland, you have Baker Mayfield playing for the Panthers.
Right.
Not only playing, but starting for the Panthers. So you have the Panthers at home, Baker Mayfield's first home game. Carolina does have a very good football presence, a very good football fan base. So, because they do encompass North and South Carolina, and it's the stadium's in Charlotte, which is a weird location. So nobody feels like they're like the home location.
Yep.
North Carolina's capital is Raleigh, about 2.5 hour drive from Charlotte. So it's like it's not really our team, but it kind of is because it's Carolina. So but I think they draw from a large radius for their fans, and I expect them to support Baker Mayfield fully in his first home game. And I think there's going to be a lot of energy around that. So I think the Panthers -1.5 against the Browns. I know there's a couple Browns fans watching, and again, if it's with my heart, it's the Browns, but with my head, I think Panthers and Baker's got a little axe to grind. I think he's going to grind it in week 1 at 1:01 p.m. Eastern time.
Is that 1.5? Is that down to 1.5?
-1.5 is 110 for the Panthers.
Go ahead and simple pick. Give me the team that didn't have all the drama this offseason. I'll take the Panthers -1.5.
Fair.
I'll take the Panthers -1.5. I think that Baker plays way better when he has something to prove. He has something to prove this week. It's not an over, but it is 1.5. I'll take that.
Are we still going to see him doing like Hulu commercials and stuff? You think? His brandability apparently is like through the roof.
Yeah,
off the charts.
I don't know what we'll see out of him this year.
Through the charts, off the roof,
through the roof, and through the charts, and through everything. But I will tell you that we're probably going to see a very motivated Baker Mayfield week 1. The Browns have way more talent on both sides of the ball, but they still have Jacoby Brissett throwing the ball. So let's go ahead and we'll hop into our parlay pick of the week. Parlay pick of the week. I'll give you a second to do yours here, because we gotta wrap this up here. Drew has places to be. So our parlay pick of the week. Here's what I like. I like the 425 parlay. 425 window parlay. Give me Tennessee -5.5. The Chiefs -3.5. And are the Bucks -2.5 right now? Are the Bucks -2.5 right now?
Is that Tampa Bay?
Yes.
The -2.5 is -108. That's right.
Perfect. So give me Tennessee. The Chiefs -3.5 and the Bucks -1.5. Love those. And that's my parlay pick of the week. It was +570. I don't know what it's at right now. Tennessee, Chiefs, Bucks, all to cover. Make that happen.
I think that's great, Derek. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for thinking that's great.
Thank you for thanking me. The parlay that I'm interested in is just taking all totals. I'm going to make you go across time zones here. So you're going to have to take a 1 o'clock game and then a couple of the 4 o'clock games.
Okay.
But we're just going to take totals on this parlay. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to take the Dolphins and Patriots parlay, or Dolphins and Patriots over on the total that I mentioned earlier. Okay. That's part of your parlay. And then for the uninitiated, the parlay means you're going to match more than one pick together, and they all have to hit in order for your bet to win. So we're going to do the Dolphins and Patriots over 46.5.
Okay.
And then there's 2 games in the 426 window. I think it's 425 technically.
Yep.
Or 415, whatever. There's 2 games in the 4 o'clock window I'd like you to look at as well. One is the Packers at the Vikings. The over-under in that game is 47.5. And we don't take unders on the show because we would not title it as such. So over 47.5, Packers and Vikings, I think we're going to see Aaron Rodgers. And then Dalvin Cook is not injured.
No,
right?
he's good.
Okay, so that's kept up on that a little bit. But I think that's going to be a nice offense. 2 offenses, they're going to be
Justin
very
Jefferson,
explosive.
Adam Thielen.
There's going to be little... The drives...
Jalen Rager's there now.
The drives in that game are going to be very short, I think.
Yep.
And they're either going to be 3, 4 and outs, or they're going to be nice touchdown runs. And then potentially the largest total of the week is the Chiefs at the Cardinals. And I think this game is going to be an absolute track meet, as the handicappers do as well. It's 53.5 points. I think Chiefs at the Cardinals in the Arizona Stadium. Cliff Kingsbury still the coach, Arizona?
Yeah.
So
still good looking dude. Still a coach.
Long sleeve, black shirt on the sidelines. I just love the uniform that he brings to work. But I think that Kyler was in town for the backyard brawl, actually. Pitt versus West Virginia. James Conner was there, and I think he brought Kyler along. So that was a nice visual of just team chemistry. Yep. There's folks that care about each other down there.
DeAndre Hopkins is suspended the first 6 games for PEDs. So
that sounds like what's that sound like to you?
It sounds like a bad idea.
Sounds like opportunity for me. So some of the other receivers for Arizona can step up and actually make it. So, hey, D-Hop's not here.
Hey, go make a name for yourself.
Guess what? I'm D-Hop.
Go make a play.
And that's I hope that's the attitude in Arizona. I think there's going to be it's no surprise that I agree with
what are the odds on
that it's back and forth. But those three teams right there is plus 644.
All right. What are the plus 644?
Yep. Plus 644 for that 3-leg parlay.
I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my Bet the House pick. Now, here's the thing. I was really bad at Bet the House pick last year, but this is a new season. New opportunity. Everybody, it's a new opportunity. It's a new year, new me. I actually had 2 this week that I really liked. So hopefully, if I'll give you one, and then maybe Drew will give you the other one, because that would be awesome. Now it changed since I wrote this down. I got it at 1.5, but if you get it at 2.5, I still like that. Tampa Bay at Dallas minus 2.5. Tampa Bay is giving 2.5 points. This seems like the steal of the weekend. Both defenses are very good. But the other side of the ball but one side has the GOAT, Tom Brady. All right, who looks great in camp, even with the marriage problems that's going on, even with all the other stuff that's going on. They also have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Scotty Miller, Julio Jones is in Tampa Bay now. Julio Jones is in Tampa Bay now, in case you're wondering. Also, Russell Gage is also a very underrated target. The Cowboys lost Amari Cooper and added exactly 0 people on their roster. This is also true. Michael Gallup won't play on Sunday. Tyron Smith, offensive line, injured. James Washington, former Pittsburgh Steeler, is injured. Tyler Smith is questionable. CeeDee Lamb is questionable. That's a lot of injuries headed into week 1.
Agreed.
Minus 1.5. It was minus 1.5. I'd take it at minus 2.5. I think I don't see a way that Tampa Bay doesn't win this by a touchdown. I just don't see it. So give me Tampa Bay minus 2.5 for my Bet the House pick. Drew, what's your Bet the House pick?
You gave me some time to think about that. I appreciate that. I also like your pick as well. I think that's a good one. So the reason I had a little bit of delay in picking up the mic is that I was looking at Monday night.
Oh, that was my other one.
So Monday night,
that was my other one.
You have Broncos minus 6.5 away at Seattle. So the reason for my delay was I saw 44.5 as the total.
Okay.
Historically, especially early in the season, primetime games,
Monday nights, yeah.
primetime games do not go over. So the thought crossed my mind as my Bet the House to take under 44.5. If that game were to get to 65 points, like it could, I would never forgive myself, so I can't do that. I do think the Broncos minus 6.5. The Broncos are going to win by a touchdown easily.
Love it.
And I think that Russ. I mean, you have a very interesting.
Does Russell Wilson get booed on Monday night?
I don't know. So the limited information I have about him leaving is that
he got traded.
So he was traded.
Yeah, it was a trade.
So it was a trade for
Drew Lock and a couple other things.
So Seattle has Drew Lock.
They're starting Geno Smith.
Yeah, they have like no so they have like no quarterback.
Yeah.
No, I think he gets cheered. I mean,
yeah.
he brought them a lot of success and I don't think he gets booed. There's a couple people that will, but I think it'll be overwhelmed by the folks that appreciate him. So I think the Broncos, but you also have, I mean, Russell Wilson, who spent so much time in that organization, right? So they're very aware of strengths and weaknesses.
I agree.
And so how does that chess match occur? Does Russell make a game plan that, like, hey, they know that this is what I'm not good at, so let's like really work on this?
Yep.
So I'm very curious to see how that works. My instincts are saying that Broncos minus 6.5 is going to be a great play. And then the Broncos and GM John Elway, or I guess, is it John Lynch or John Elway still?
So they got bought by the Waltons, the people that own Walmart. now on the Broncos, and they signed Russell Wilson to a 5-year something extension. So he's a Bronco until he retires. Denver Broncos -6.5 was my other one as well. I think the Seahawks are on the fast track for the number 1 overall pick. I think everything you said. They announced as soon as they announced Geno Smith as their starter, they're like, we're gonna take a quarterback next year. They have to. They have to.
Better stats in week 1: Mitchell Trubisky, Geno Smith.
Mitchell Trubisky. That's only because Cincinnati's not known for their defense. As much so as the Broncos are known for their defense. So I'm gonna take. I don't think it's close. I think you're right.
Is Geno's first name Evgeny?
I don't think so.
Is it not Evgeny Smith?
No, I think it's just Geno. Yeah, it's just Geno. Right. West Virginia kid, too. So that's a good one here. So now we end on a hot take, and we appreciate you guys for sticking around for all of this. Thank you so much to all of our listener. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you. We hope that we bring you some winners this week. I love these lines this week. I really did. I love these lines this week. I think there's a lot of value right now because as little as we know, Vegas knows the same amount. So I think there's a chance we can sneak some in on them here and take some money from the live casinos. Also, if you're looking for a place to play some bets or watch some games, live casino, you can't beat it. We end every week as we do on a hot take. We do not count the hot takes against our record. This is like a lottery ticket. The hot take is a lottery ticket. We put $10 down on it. Never expected to hit. If it does, it's like a $600-700 win. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the hot takes that we have. Drew, I may need you here to actually do your hot take. I got this. I think mine shouldn't have changed that much. So
okay.
So here we go.
My hot take.
You got one already?
My hot take this week is going to be. Hold on, I got to put it together and tell you what exactly it's going to be. That was nope. It's going to be 2 legs is all it's going to be.
Okay. Wow.
And it's going to include the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are actually going to win their game away at the Washington Commanders. They're going to win that game by a touchdown. We're going to do the Jaguars -5.5, and I'll build this live with you while we're here. And then I have to go back. We haven't mentioned it. I've been itching to mention this the entire show. The Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, we're convinced like Herbert's like he's like for real, right?
He's God.
Everyone's on board with that. Former Oregon Duck program's in shambles with him leaving, and it is what it is. There's just a lot of change going on in Eugene. It's tough to be a Duck whenever you get absolutely blown out by Georgia. But anyways, I digress. So first we're gonna have the Jaguars, and then I'm gonna take the Los Angeles Chargers to win that game by 12.5.
Okay.
So that's going to be it's not a huge number, but we're still going to have a 2-leg parlay at +1116, +1116. The fact that it's +1116 is a very good omen for me, and that's going to be Chargers -12.5, Jaguars -5.5, and you're welcome.
Wow, that's a hot take. That is a hot take. Anything over like +500 is a hot take. These are massively hot takes. We hit a few of them last year. Don't expect all of them to hit. Don't expect any of them to hit.
No, we really don't.
Do. Yeah. But when they do.
But we're geniuses.
Oh, we feel so good about ourselves. So here's mine. Colts have still not won a home opener since 2013. That trend continues this week. We have the Texans money line. I like your train of thought. I'm going to ride it. Parlay that with the Jaguars money line. Carson Wentz loses to Trevor Lawrence again, and because I'm so confident that Tampa Bay is going to win by more than a touchdown over Dallas, Tampa Bay -6.5. So Texans money line, Jaguars money line, Bucks -6.5 +26.98. Go ahead and put $10 on that. Get yourself $269.80. Here's what I will tell you. We throw out a lot of picks. Understand that. We are also going to put these picks on our website at taketheoverpod.com. You can go and check all those picks out. Get ready for the weekend because the NFL season is back. Week 1 kicks off this Thursday night. Go ahead and take some bets on that. And Week 1 continues in Sunday and Monday. I am beyond excited. Drew, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, Derek. I feel like this was a great show. I got a lot of my NFL thoughts in order.
We're back.
We are in fact back. I love being back. I love being here. I love doing everything that we're doing. It's really just a great time to enjoy the fall season. Pumpkin spice is in the air, quite literally.
It is.
Whenever you look at a billboard, it's in the air, and there's pumpkin spice on there. So it feels really good, and I feel like this was a great start to our season. Do I dare? We didn't keep a good. We didn't keep a good track of the beard bet last season. Do we dare bring that back?
We bring it back.
So the bet for last season was if my bet the house picks are below 500 on the season for the entire season through Super Bowl, correct?
Yep.
Then I will shave the beard. So I've had this now for over 2 years. No, not at this point. Nobody wants that. But I will put it back on the line for the show.
All right.
And if my bet the house picks are below 500, I will shave my face clean.
I'll think of a bet. I'll think of a bet for myself for a bet the house pick. That way we both have something on the line.
Thanks, Derek.
And we'll go from there. But until then, next week, back here, picking more games.
You got to get a buzz cut.
No, I can't do that. Until then, next week we're back here. Same time, whatever. We'll figure out the time. We'll post it out there.
Figure it out.
Good luck, everybody. Have a Sunday.
It's going to be a good one so far. I mean, I've got written down 15 winners.
NFL is back.
Yeah, as of right now on paper, we are 15-0.
The NFL is back. Have yourself a Sunday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate it. Good luck, and let us know how you're feeling. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. Hey, we're on the road to 1,000. We're on the road to 1,000
subscribers on
YouTube. Road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is where we can start getting monetization, and they can run ads on us. So if you haven't liked us yet or subscribed yet on YouTube, please subscribe yet on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe.
Road to 1,000.
Even if you Even if you don't like it, it's free, right?
It's free.
What a value.
I mean,
and
you
a
can't
bargain at that.
We should road to 1,000.
My closing statements: Happy birthday, Mike Yavorsky, and keep the race in Tampa.
Have yourself a Sunday, everybody. Let's go. Good luck, and the NFL's back, and we can't thank you enough.
Thank you for listening to the Take the Over Sports podcast. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.